It's the second weekend in April, and it is a beautiful spring day, sunny but yet cool, perfect for working out here. So we're going to take a look at the trees real quick. This first pear tree has started to, most of its blooms are already out, some of them are already past, and it's got kicking out its leaves. So you can see here where the leaves are already open, and these are leaf buds here that are going to be forming. This is one so this is kind of what they look like when they're starting, and then they whip out into this, and they fork off, and then they open up and unfurl. And you can see one here in a little further stages. So it's a very, very cool time of year to look at the trees because you can see all the different stages of how things go. So you can see one here swollen, more, open. It's very cool. So anyway, we're starting to see some of the first ones to blossom already starting to drop their petals and be done. So we'll get to see the results of the pollination fairly soon. With the cherry, you can see there's tons and tons of blooms still on it. It has pretty much all the blossoms have flowers have opened, and a lot of them have already started to go away, fall away. You can see them there, the brown stuff. And then as they do, we'll be able to see if the fruit formed or not. So once again, every one of those flowers is potentially a cherry. So we have lots and lots of potential cherries. And they will be ready as soon as maybe a couple months, maybe 10 weeks. Just because they're such a small fruit, so they form very quickly, which is great. Just have to beat the birds to them. So anyway, that is the cherry tree. The apple has starting to put out some leaves now, and a lot of the blossoms, flowers, have went from this. This is a perfect example of the pink petal stage. And then as it's really cool to see, you can see the one in the middle has starting to show some white. That's the king blossom. It's starting to form quicker than the others. See here is more distinct of a difference between the pink and there. And then you can see here in this stage, these are still pink. That's opening. It's starting to lose its pink. And then, let's see, where's another one? There's some there. Over here you can see the bottom where this one's open and the others are starting to go still. And then eventually they all open and start to lose their pink and become white open flowers. And so this cluster will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this, if everything goes well, would have 7 apples trying to form, which is why it's crucial for the apples for us to go in and manually decrease the number of apples. So they recommend 1 per cluster because obviously it's a perfect example. You can see this branch here, not the strongest structure in the world. If there's 7 apples on there, it's going to be hanging really low, and also 7, 7, 7, 7. So we thinned that out, which is what we did last year, and we got an excellent crop. So, but judging by the number of flowers here, it looks like it's going to set a good number of flowers, and then we'll thin it out to the proper number of apples, and hopefully we've solved our every other year problem. But you can see all the different, like I said, the different stages where they are. Some of them are past where they bloomed and they're already starting to fall off, and some of them haven't opened yet. So very cool. Onto the peach. It has its little canopy here going, and pretty much all the blossoms here are past their maturity, and they're starting to have the petals draw off, doing the shuck split. So that's all good. Nothing major going on there. And then this pear, same with the others. Lots of leaf buds popping out now. The leaves that were on the bud clusters kicking out. And you can start to see right there where it's swelling, right under there, under some of these. And I believe that's going to be the formation of the fruit. So we'll check back in, but that's looks like what's going to happen right there where that swelling is. So we'll be able to, you can see it maybe clearer here, but anyway, we'll be checking in with that. That's the cool thing about checking in all the time. And then the apricot. So a lot of still hasn't been pruned, but has a lot of the blossoms where the little fruit was forming. Many of them are in this dead stage. They got killed by that cold weather a week or so ago. There's a lot of them that are like that. They're just stunted, deformed, going to fall off. And I thought it was going to be most of them, but I have noticed it's kind of hard to see unless you look real close, and I'm sure hard to pick up on the camera, but some of them are still good. Actually, we can see some right here. That right there, those are still good, and those may make it. We'll have to see. Last year, I know a lot of them got a little bit bigger than that before they did fall off, and so, and you can see as I'm touching it, this crusty part's falling off, and here's a little one that's falling off, but they're still stuck on there. So we'll see. They may make it, they may not. Last year, I only had about a dozen fruit from here at all, so it is what it is, and that's the thing about the weather. Can't control it. And the apricot blooms first and takes the most risk. So anyway, we'll look real quick at the raspberries. They are just growing out. A lot of green here, and we've got the little shoots, the new canes coming up. The old canes are putting their green out, and it won't be long before they're starting to, those little green parts are going to sprout out and kick out some flowers and have some berries. So anyway, that's that. And the strawberries in the front, let's take a quick look at them, because they are blooming. A few of them are blooming anyway. So here's a couple that we had the transplant from a friend last year, and some survived, and we can see there are some future berries there. The flowers forming, and you can actually see that looks like exactly what the skin of the berry will look like right there. Very cool. So a few flowers there, and flowers a little bit here, there, and kind of scattered throughout. A little easier to see. Now we put some good mulch in there. But there's our flower bed, or berry bed, and we'll see if we can't get them to produce some good fruit this year and keep them under control. But they're starting to flower, so hopefully that means there'll be some berries in the future. And that is it for this week.